Hello everyone, Elspeth here, and welcome back to Rising World. So today, we're going to do something that I have actually never, ever done in any of my videos. Planks and beams. This is a plugin that I've had installed for a while, hugely popular in the Rising World community, for good reason, but I've really never utilized it. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to, with the help of this wonderful little plugin, we're going to do the inside of our house and maybe a little bit of things outside too. But mostly, we're going to start focusing on some of the details inside. So the first thing that we need are windows, and I'm pretty sure that it's window D, but let me just double check really quickly because I could be totally wrong, but I'm not. It's this one, window D. Okay. So, what would look good with these walls? And by the way, to get back to the plugin really quickly, so I'm hitting T to bring up it's not the console command menu, but it's like the chat and talk in-game menu. So since I've already typed in the command to open the Planks and Beams plugin, when I hit T again, all I have to do is hit the up arrow on my keyboard, and it's going to go back up to that last command, and I can just hit enter again, and here we are. So, what would look good? Now, I have a lot of stone. I do not have a lot of wood, which is a problem. And that's a problem that we're really not going to go into a whole lot this episode. That's going to be a later on kind of problem. Let's put it that way. I do kind of like these two green marble ones. And let's make sure we're selecting the right thing. So now the other thing you'll notice with this, you can make triangles. Isn't that so cool? Instead of having to go in and use the console command to spawn in a triangle, you can do it this way instead. So that is another option that does exist. But it will, like, it's realistic. It does require whatever resource would normally be required. So iron, there's something in here that needs copper, sand, dirt. So that part's all going to stay the same. So I don't really think, there we go, that's what needs copper. You can do green copper. Actually, we could do green copper. We could do copper, period. Hang on. Having another thought. So, I actually have, like, a lot, comparatively speaking. I mean, obviously iron's the most useful, but then I also have a fair amount of tungsten, a bit of silver, and a bit of copper. And I also have more that I haven't even smelted down yet. So there's that too. I'm gonna grab those two stacks. And by more, I mean not a huge amount, but a decent amount, I think. I do have to do more exploring to find some things, but you know, I'll get to that. Let's see here. So if I go 3 over, let's start our window here. And this is actually going to be really good for us because we can reuse these blocks. So that's why I am kind of being careful to make sure that I keep these. So again, T, arrow up to bring up that last command and hit enter. kind of like this, honestly. And let's just do, just taking one ingot. Let's do 10. And there we go. 10 added to inventory. Okay. Let's close out of that, go back to our inventory, and there's our windows. Let's take a look at them. Oh, look at that. I think that's really cool. I think it kind of blends in fairly well. Obviously, we don't have glass because we have not been to a desert biome, so we have no sand. That's a whole nother thing. That's going to be a big expedition. And I don't want to do that yet. So, there's that. Okay. And you'll notice over here, I can't show you because the mouse isn't going to... Oh, there we go. Grid active. So now it's actually telling you, which is, I mean, I guess it's cool. On the other hand, I don't know how you wouldn't know that the grid was active, right? Like, it's pretty obvious. All of a sudden, everything is snapping to something. And you can see the lines. So, kind of obvious, but, you know, I mean, if somebody was starting out and maybe didn't know that that's what all these lines mean, it could be helpful for them. Okay, so we did that 2 spaces away from our door. 1, 2. Oops, losing it. Might need more than 10 windows. All right, 3, yep. Okay. So we're gonna do windows. We're gonna do lights. Get that fireplace up and going. Just really kind of as much detail work as we can. That's kind of going to be, that's going to be today. That's what we're going to do. I just really, on the one hand, you know, staying at home is safe. So 3 cheers for safety. And on the other hand, this is something that's definitely overdue. We've been meaning to get this done for a while and just have not been getting to it. So that's really not good. Okay. And I'm just holding down right shift and the arrow keys to change my sizes, if anybody doesn't know. There we go. Just making it a little taller because we do have the walkway right out there. So yeah, we're kind of moving into a little bit of a height difference as we go along here. So there will probably be a wall coming along here. I haven't really entirely figured out the whole interior floor plan yet. It's kind of a work in progress. A lot of things, honestly, kind of a work in progress with this. I turned off spiders. That was just, I'm sorry, Red, you did, it's awesome. They're great. They're super realistic, right down to the goosebumps on my arms when I see them. So, yeah, we're not going to have those in this game. And I really don't think, given what we're doing, that it's really going to be much of a loss. I don't think we're really going to miss them, honestly. And if you like spiders, well, you can have them in your own game. And yeah, have fun. That's what you want to do. That's fine. The bandits, I'm actually a little bit excited about. No idea why, because they've killed me like 5 times now. As many of you know, I'm actually really bad at fighting games, period. It doesn't really seem to matter in what aspect or anything like that. Let's see. I'm just, yeah, I'm bad at fighting. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's start down this wall. So anyhow, with that kind of being said, yeah, I've gotten killed numerous times. So I need a crossbow. And that is how we're going to handle that. Do I want larger? No, I don't think I want larger windows right there. I think once we get to the garden, I want larger windows there. That seems right. Some nice big windows looking out over the garden. I like that. We're definitely going to need to make more windows. And then as for the skeletons, I mean, they don't, on the one hand, the little buggers do creep me out because holy cow, they move fast. On the other hand, yeah, they don't creep me out as much, and you know, it's kind of easier to stay out of dungeons than it is to stay out of my backyard. Because my backyard is kind of, well, I mean, obviously not like the backyard that you can see through the window, but on the other side of that wall is forest. So it's a little harder to stay out of that. And by a little, I mean a lot. All right. Back into planks and beams, which, oh my God, you guys, such a useful plugin. I highly, highly recommend that you download this. It's so helpful. And honestly, it really is. This is very easy to use. I mean, it just takes whatever your resource is and turns it into whatever the item is. So it opens up a whole new world of construction possibilities, which is really nice because at this point, and hopefully, I mean, hopefully this kind of stays in the game, and I do believe that it will, but at this point, Rising World is largely a building game. I mean, a lot of what I'm doing here is building. It's building in survival mode, sure, so I have to actually work for the resources that I'm using, which is cool because it adds another level of challenge. Not only am I trying to build something that looks good, but I'm trying to go out and get the resources to do it with. So that's really fun, but this is just a really cool building game. It's an awesome game for anyone who is creative. It's an awesome game for anyone who might want to just kind of spend a relaxing afternoon. If you're running on creative and just building stuff, this is a really relaxing game, which is kind of nice a lot of the time. I don't really, well, maybe we should space these windows a bit further apart. I mean, they are bigger. Anyhow, back to what I'm actually doing and planning on doing. So we're going to do a lot of the detail work today. Obviously, there is still going to be more detail work to be done. I haven't even built the second floor, really. And this place will have a second floor. And if you hear weird noises, that's just the puppy. You can ignore her. She's bored because my animals are old and don't want to play with her. I don't want to play with you either. I'm old too. Run along. She doesn't like that answer. But, so we're going to do some of the interior details today. And then one of the next things that I want to tackle is watchtowers and a walkway around the edge of the wall. So at each corner, I want to have stairs going up, obviously. You have to get up there somehow. And kind of a general watchtower. So, like, ammunition for the crossbows, bandages, food, water, I don't know, like a resupply kind of thing at the top there. I don't think I want those windows to be quite so big. Got distracted there for a minute, sorry. Yeah, so basically a good stocking and resupply kind of station at the top of each tower. I think that will, maybe I want them to be tall though, skinny and tall. I think that'll be good. And then of course a walkway all the way around at the top as well. So that's going to be the next project after this. And it's going to take me a little while to finish putting these windows in. And we're already about 16 minutes into the video. So I'm going to cut out some of this footage. And I will bring you guys back when I have the windows done and we're ready to move on to the next stage. So I will see you in just a little while. All right, everyone, welcome back. We've got all the windows in here. Just kind of standing here admiring my handiwork, eating an apple. There's no windows over here because this is actually the wall where the entrance to the mine is. So can't put any windows there. That's fine. And then all of the, let's see, is it all? Yep, that's all. All of the extra wood blocks that I got back, I took upstairs. Actually, I'll run up there real quick. I took up here and just kind of added in. This was all totally flat. So those extra blocks got me this. Most of it's just one block high. But then this corner here is a little bit higher where I put in a couple of extra windows here. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'm not going to worry about windows on the second floor yet because, again, we are not even remotely close to working on the second floor. So still have massive amount of stone. This I have a plan for, but it's going to be outside. So I'll just kind of move that out of the way a little bit here. Now, the next thing that I want would be some interior walls. And for these, much as it hurts, for these I do want to go with wood. Now, this I am very partial to, because it is such a beautiful, polished grain. It's just amazing. And I think that that's the one that we're going to do. So, oh, it says I don't have enough resources. Okay. I do. I just haven't, like, turned it into usable resources. If that makes any sense whatsoever. There we go. Now we can go back in and do that again. 64 planks. There we go. All right. Now we get to start thinking about where we want things to be. Now, having the ceiling here is actually super helpful because I can put a plank up against that wall and I can measure the width measurement, not so much, but the height. So I know how high it all needs to be. Now again, we're going to use the grid here. We are going to have rooms. I'm kind of going to be figuring this out as I go. So this is probably going to be a bit of a long video, just because I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't exactly know how I wanted to do it, if that makes the least little bit of sense. Okay, so I'm just using the minus key on my number keypad to bring these squares down really small. So I'm there. Oh, that's not really going to work out because that's going to be partway in the middle of that window. What if we go right there? That's okay because we can come up and then over, except I don't have a crowbar, so I need to be very careful about how I do this. There we go. Yes, that is the right. And that is pretty much a perfect width, really, for a doorway. And we'll do some embellishment and details on that, and so on. And then we'll run along this way. And I'm just clicking and dragging. Right click and drag. And then that's not really going to line up perfectly, so we're going to have our little walkway right there, basically. Okay. And it's not perfectly tight, you can see, but that's okay. We're going to come back with basically trim and kind of trim this all in. So, not really a big deal. Now, I do need the top part here because we're not going to have like floor to ceiling doorways. I think that's probably good. Let's go look. Yeah, that's actually more than good. So, okay. That is a perfectly good height for those. Now, we'll have this little ledge here that we can put, oh, who knows, something decorative on. I don't know. We'll figure out what. We'll figure that out. Oops. There we go. That, yep, looks good. Okay. Now next, let's take this back up. Turn that grid off for a minute there. That's as wide as it goes. And that's the height we're looking for. Okay. So, now I don't want it to be too cramped, but I also don't want, I don't want everything completely open, right? Enter. It'll tell you when you turn on modular snapping as well, which is what I'm doing right here. When you hit enter and modular snapping turns on, it means that this plank is going to line up perfectly to that last one. Shorten this up. Because sometimes with the grid, they don't quite do that. So we turn enter off, the grid back on, rotate, re-widen. It is definitely a little bit of kind of back and forth when you're working with planks and beams, but I really think that the result that you end up with is totally, totally worth it. You can just do so many cool things, and there are people who build entirely with planks and beams. Like, they don't use any blocks at all. And I think that's just really impressive. I, personally, not even going to consider attempting that, but it's awesome that people do, and the things that they make are just so incredible. All right, let's turn the grid back on, widen this, shorten, and let's see how this looks. Turn enter off. Yeah, that needs to be a bit shorter. There we go. There we go. And like that. And like that. How's that look though? Nope, that did not work. That did not work. There we go. Okay. That worked. Now for that space over there. Maybe a small room over there? Or maybe open shelves. Ooh, open shelving. That could be cool. That could be cool. Yeah, because this is a little too small for a room, really. So I'm thinking open shelving. And then this is really more like a hallway. I don't know. I may or may not put doors in these. We'll see. But yeah, definitely open shelves there. Maybe with, actually, you know what? Changing my mind again. Turn the grid off for a minute here. Bring this all the way up. Okay. Go. Turn the grid back off. Modular snapping, so helpful. Really, really, really. Okay. So, got a little bit of a wall there. We'll do shelving there. And then I think that along here, actually going to, let's see. Let's go over here. This is not really going to be tall enough. But. I have an idea. Put that over there. Whew. It's still a little chilly here. I mean, it's actually today is April 1st, so theoretically it's springtime, but I live in Montana and nobody has really told the state of Montana or Mother Nature in the state of Montana that spring is supposed to be warm and sunny and lovely weather and all these things. Yeah, no, not really happening so far. Don't get me wrong, we have nice sunny days, but they're just not really all that warm. It's kind of a fake out. The sun shines and it looks beautiful and it totally tricks you into thinking that it's going to be a nice day. And then you step outside in a t-shirt thinking that it's lovely and you immediately freeze. That's pretty much how that goes. I'm thinking about using that for the shelving over here, but that's not actually what I'm looking for right now. Maybe that. I don't really know that I need 64 though. Let's do 25. I think that's good. Okay. Now, my idea with these, we're going to lay them down, extend them out, and this is going to be our flooring trim. So, realistically, actually, start this along here. this is going to go in here. Now the way that we're going to make this work is figuring out the spot where it's kind of in the middle. Looks like roughly there. Right control, that has enabled manual positioning, and actually we're going to turn modular snapping off because it's not helpful right now. Now if you look at it like this, you can see not totally even. There we go. So once you have hit the right control key, it freezes the element in place, and you can then control it with your arrow keys on your keyboard instead of, and I don't know why I'm going this way with this because it's a long piece, so I need to go the other way. You control it with the arrow keys on your keyboard instead of the mouse. So you can get much more precise in your positioning. Now it does move pretty slowly. Like you can see, we're not making fast progress here. But once you have one piece down, the rest will actually go much faster. So you'll see here in just a moment. That looks good. So right click, locking that in place, hit control again to disable this. Now I'm going to hit enter because I want my modular snapping back. So now I can go along and just do this. And voila, much easier, right? Let's lock that in place real quick and just scoot it over a tiny bit. There we go. And look at this. We have the bottom completely trimmed in. Now, the vertical trim is going to be something different, so we'll get to that. Now, this one will be a little bit trickier. We're going to extend it back out, and I did notice that our light is going, so we're going to have to do something about that. Lock that in place. That looks roughly even. Let's run over here really quickly. And the way the arrow keys will work in terms of how they're going to move the object is going to be based on where you, the character, are standing. So when I was standing here and moving this in, I was using my up arrow key. I was moving it away from me. When I went over here, was standing like this and wanted to move it sideways, I was using the left arrow key, moving it sideways to the left. So quick, a lot of you probably already know this, I'm sure, but quick tutorial, oops, for anyone who doesn't. And I really do need to go make myself a sledgehammer. Yes. That is entirely accurate. Now I can just barely see the edge of this down to the right of my screen. So I can do that. Then turn modular snapping off. Flip around. Freeze this in place. That looks good. Now we just move that over to about the halfway point. And a touch in. There we go. All right, so our lower trim is coming along really, really well. Now, yeah, I think I might go down and sleep through the night here because we're getting really dark. So if I think it's dark, I know you guys are going to have trouble seeing. So I'm going to go and sleep, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. So, let's see here. I made some better lights. I'll just toss a couple of those up really quickly here. There we go. And then another one kind of just right in front of the doorway. These are just really going to throw off a bit more light, a bit better light. I'm definitely going to have to make some more of them because, you know, really not enough for this entire build. But I think it's a good start. There we go. Take the torches out. Okay. That'll help us a bit when it starts to get dark again. Ooh, I can see an edge here. Well, we'll just have to put something there for that. I don't know what just yet. Gotta finish this off. Let's see. I'm really regretting the fact that I don't have glass for the windows, but I was so careful about not exploring very far. Sort of regretting that just a little bit right about now. A little bit. That's okay. That's okay. One of the next things that I'm gonna make is a crossbow. So we can go out and do some hunting and get some leather. So we can make a saddle so that we can start riding and then do some more exploring. All right. Now, do I want this to be the door frame trim too? I think I do, actually, because I really do actually like this. So let's back up a little bit here so that I can get a good measurement. All right, so we are trying to line this up here. How's that look? Yeah, that's good. And then in we go. About like that. I mean, I do want them fairly, you know, fairly far in. Right. That looks good. Okay. I'm really happy with the way that this build is coming along. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, please, please, please hit that like button. If you have any ideas for the build, of course, drop a comment down below. It's always really exciting to hear what everybody else thinks. Come on. It's just really interesting to get some other takes on what it is that I'm doing here. There we go. Now I do kind of wish that I could just copy that, just the door frame part, and do it again over here. And yeah, I know, blueprints, but that's not exactly the same thing. So, you know, close but not quite. And this, of course, won't actually be getting a door because, you know, window. But I still want to have it framed out the same because I still want, I want that uniformity. We're not really going to have a lot of, well, we don't really have much of any symmetry in terms of like our window placements or really anything like that. So I do want to make sure that we have some things some elements that help to kind of tie everything together. So part of that really is going to be this trim going around. That will definitely help with that. Hit me, or is it getting dark out again? Oh, it's cloudy. Well, that'll do it. That will do it. Okay. And this one's just going to be tucked up a little bit more, nice and even. Take this over here. This one's going to be a little bit tougher to do. Ooh. There we go. How's this look? Looks fairly good. Yeah, go with that. Okay. So that's looking good. Obviously, yeah, we do still need to go through and do trim between the planks. I might actually make that the exact same color as the planks. So basically just, actually I will do it in beams, but I might do it the exact same color as the planks. We'll see. Next up though, actually next up is getting a drink. Got to remember to take care of yourself. Otherwise you'll drop dead and have no idea why. Right? You'll be looking at that game over sign going, what do you mean? Like, there was nothing going on around me. How did I die? Oh yeah, I didn't drink for like days at a time. Oops. Kind of want these columns to match. So, actually, we're going to use this as our measuring stick here. And again, I do apologize. I know that this is definitely, ooh, that's not really going to work out. I know this is definitely a long episode, and I am going to end it here in just a couple of minutes. I feel like we didn't necessarily get a lot done, which kind of sucks. But I think in reality, we probably got more done than I'm really thinking that we did. If that makes the slightest bit of sense, which I'm sure it does not. That's okay. That's okay. So, there we go. There we go. We're going to need more of those. So I think that the takeaway, perhaps, from today is that, oh, I did something I did not want to do. I did not do them as logs. But anyhow, the takeaway here is that the beams and planks plugin is actually really helpful for a variety of things. And it really enables you to open up some of the creative possibilities within the game. So, of course, as always, when we're, using a mod, thank you so much to the modders who made it and shared it with everybody instead of just saying, hey, there's this really cool thing that I'm keeping for my own game. They actually went ahead and shared it with the rest of us, which is really super cool. I can't quite tell if that goes all the way to the top. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to want to put something up there anyhow. Let's see here. Yeah, this needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. There we go. See, that's kind of what makes me wonder. Like, it doesn't necessarily really look like that's actually the only thing up there. But it does partly go through it, so who knows? They may have gone all the way up. They may have gone all the way up. Yep. Definitely going to need more lights. So, oops. Where's my trusty? There we go. This is the other thing that I finally made. Crowbar. There we go. Yes. So, left click with the crowbar to get the item back. There we go. All right. I like those. Yeah. I think they're pretty cool. I will, of course, do something else in addition to this to kind of differentiate between, like, the pool area and, you know, this will be like a cooking area, dining area. We need a, what did I just see? I saw nothing. I'm paranoid. We need railings for this. All of that good fun stuff. Am I really paranoid? Yes, I'm really paranoid. Okay. So yeah, still a lot of details to do. So yeah, we're probably going to have one more interior detail episode, so to speak. And then we're going to go outside. Or I might start outside first, and then we'll kind of come back and forth between the two. I don't know for sure yet. We'll see how that goes. But anyhow, I am going to go ahead and end the episode here because I think that this has probably been about as long as anybody really needs it to be. Possibly longer than a lot of people needed it to be. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and I hope that you will be joining me for the next one. Until then, everyone, have a wonderful day. And hey, happy building.